Shavua Tov b'Shem Hashem Naseh v'Natzlich. May the learning of the Torah that we do today, may it be in the zechut of our Chayalim, the Chatofim, and Am Yisrael as a whole. In Parsha Vayishlach, there are two things that are popping out from the verse in Perek Lamed Bet in Pasuk Daled, which we want to try to focus on today, which is going to help us better our Avodat Hashem. And one of them, actually both of them, but one of them I want to share with you today. It's actually in the Shulchan Aruch. It says, Vayishlach Yaakov malachim lefanav el Esav achiv. And Yaakov sent angels before him to Esav his brother. If we look into Rashi says, what kind of angels did Yaakov Avinu send? Malachim mamash, actual angels, and he quotes Bereshit Rabbah, Perek Ein Hei, Pasuk Daled. Now we have to understand that something with Rashi is off. Not Chas v'Shalom. I want to try to bring out a point. How can Rashi tell me Malachim mamash? What else would I think? When it says in the Torah and Yaakov sent angels, you ask any child, when it says in the verse, and Yaakov sent angels, ask the child, what did Yaakov Avinu send? They'll tell you angels. What kind of angels? Real angels. What other angels can Yaakov Avinu send? So what is Rashi coming and telling me now? Malachim mamash, actual angels. Real angels. What does that mean? That's number one. Number two, why did the Torah have to teach us the word lefanav? And Yaakov sent angels before him to Esav his brother. And if I would have read it, and Yaakov sent angels to Esav his brother, if you're telling me Yaakov Avinu is sending it, yeah, he's sending it before him to Esav. Who else is sending it? Is Yaakov sending before him to Esav? It's self-understood. Rabotai, we have to understand that this word seemingly is extra. It's not. We'll see why. But seemingly it is extra because you could have said the same thing without the word lefanav. And we know there's nothing extra in the Torah. So number one, let's take up the first problem. What does what does Rashi mean when he says that Yaakov Avinu had sent real angels? What does that mean that he sent real angels? Now you have to understand, Yaakov was an Ishtam Yoshev Ohalim. Yaakov Avinu was a person who was a person of completeness that was sitting and learning Torah day in and day out. 24/7, he was imbued with Torah. A person like Yaakov Avinu, when you're learning Torah, when you know what to do and you get things done the way the Torah wants you to do, you need to say that Yaakov Avinu's Avodat Hashem was complete. It was Shalem. His mitzvot were mitzvot. His learning Torah was a learning Torah. His Avodat Hashem was Avodat Hashem. Everything Yaakov Avinu did, he had to do it 100% being there. He had to do it 100% each mitzvah accordingly the way the Torah wanted us to do it. Meaning, wanted Yaakov Avinu to do it. So now you can understand, if we know the concept that with every mitzvah that we do, we create malachim. It's a famous chazal, Rabotai. With every avera, you create a destructive angel. With every mitzvah, you create a constructive angel. So you have to say like this. When Rashi is telling you malachim mamash, it means actual real malachim that were complete. Because these malachim were created from Yaakov's Avinu mitzvot, Torah, Avodat Hashem, Gimlut Chasadim, and everything else. Everything that Yaakov Avinu did, everything that he thought, malachim were created. But what kind of angels? You could have two types of angels, Rabotai. You could have angels that are complete in form, and you could have angels that are blemished, missing an eye, missing a head, missing a hand. You ask me a question, Rabbi, how can you have an angel that is missing a head? Very simple, because remember, through our actions, through our mitzvot that we do, we create angels. So I give an example. A person is down in Shemna Esrei, but his mind is in Miami, or it's on a TV show, or it's on a game. So you're davening Shemna, you're doing a mitzvah without a head. So your tefillah is without a head. As simple as that. Or a person, right, he goes ahead and right now he walks in the street, he wants to go ahead and do a mitzvah. He wants to do achnasat orchim. Or he wants to go do bikur cholim. Now he goes outside, he wants to go visit the sick. As he's going to do the mitzvah, he wants to go to the whatever it be, the house, the hospital, the nursing home. On the way there, he saw a nice, beautiful immodest girl. He started looking at her and he got pleasure, chas v'shalom, and whatever the situation might be. But he went to do the mitzvah. Okay. He created an angel of Bikur Cholim, of visiting the sick. But what kind of angel? That angel has no eyes. Why doesn't that angel have eyes? Because you went to do a mitzvah, but on the way doing a mitzvah, you did an avera. We don't look at it like that, Rabotai. We look at it, okay, Rabbi, if I did the mitzvah, at least I did something. There's a difference between what we think is right and what the Torah expects from us. When it comes to at least we did something, this is only good because we don't know the consequences that we're going to face when we find out the truth or when we find out what Hashem really wants from us. We're not going to be speaking at least. Rabotai, the more you learn Torah, the more you learn Shulchan Aruch, the more you learn Chazal, you see the life that you were living is not the life that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted from you. That's the life you were living based off stories that you heard, inspirational stories, which are nice. But Rabotai, with inspiration, there has to be some action. And a lot of times it's only inspiration but no action. In any event, we see from over here, Yaakov's Avinu angels were real angels. That's what Rashi is telling you, Malachim Mamash. If I would have asked this to anybody else, if I asked them when it says Malachim in the Torah, you tell me, yeah, angels. What kind of angels? You wouldn't be able to tell me that they're complete angels in their form, and it's angels that were created from the Avodat Hashem, the mitzvah, the Torah that Yaakov Avinu did in his lifetime. People wouldn't be able to answer that. Comes Rashi and he tells you should know, not regular angels. It's the Malachim Mamash, real actual angels that Yaakov Avinu did was in their complete form. Now, knowing this, that a person has to do mitzvot and Torah and Avodat Hashem and Gemilut Chassidim and so on and so forth, are we creating our angels in their complete form or not? You have to ask yourself, you have to be honest with yourself. Am I doing what Hashem wants me to do? Yeah, I come down, Shachrit min Charavit. Yeah, I learn Torah. But when I'm learning Torah, how much time of that am I really giving to Torah? And how much time from that am I literally thinking about other things? When I'm davening, am I really davening? When I'm saying a bracha, am I really saying a bracha? Or am I just saying it because I really want to just get to the drinking part? You have to understand, Abotai, are you enjoying the process or are you waiting until you get to the end goal? What happened? What happened? A person has a suda, he has a nice meal, right? You go Shabbat, whether it be you're eating a nice bread meal, whether it be on Shabbat, on Yom Tov, in a party, in a Brit Milah, in a Sudat Mitzvah, doesn't matter. 1 hour you're eating, 2 hours you eat, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. I don't know what you guys do for 5 hours, but let's say 5 hours you're eating and having a good time. Ha ha, you eat, whatever it is. Comes the time to do Mayim Achronim Chova. Okay, dessert. Come on. How do you compare 5 hours of eating to 30 seconds or 2 minutes of Birkat Hamazon? Where people have to slow down a little bit, slow down. I'm telling you, if you just pay attention when people say Barachot, you'll be surprised how many words are swallowed. It's not even said. It's not even said. Anyway, I want to show you over here today. Let's try to see, how we are able to go ahead and be able to do the same thing like Yaakov Avinu did. To be able to have Malachim Mamash. Now, in order to have Malachim Mamash, you have to know that there's a Shulchan Aruch for this in Siman Samech and Halacha Daled. Very simple Shulchan Aruch. But Rabotai, after you see the Shulchan Aruch today, you won't be so happy. But Halacha is Halacha. Now, I'll tell you off the back, B'di'evet, are you Yotze? Do you do the mitzvah? Yes. Are you going to have an angel like Yaakov Avinu? Absolutely not. Are you going to have any angel like a complete angel? No. Are you going to have a blemished angel? Yes. So whenever you see that the poskim say, B'di'evet, you are Yotzeh, if it's not in accordance with halacha, you're doing already post facto. You're doing not the best possible way, you're doing the next best way. You know, when a person tries to get married, that's what they have to get married young. The younger you get married, the better it's for you. You start your life. Now, listen, the Shulchan Aruch clearly says it. Right? In Even HaEzer, in Siman Halach Aleph. Chayav kol adam litzah isha kedei larabot ularabot. Person, larabot uleparot. The person has to get married. Right? Every single man is obligated to get married in order to be fruitful and multiply. It's a halakha in the Shulchan Aruch. After 20, Hashem is not really happy with the people. The Torah brings down that Hashem says that his bones should explode. Up to 24, in the Pitchah Teshuvah, he brings down 24. If you want this kind of girl, that kind of girl, but 24, you're pushing it. After 24, there's no reason for you to be already picky. But Rabotai, it's very important for people to understand to get married young. Why? Because I'll explain to you like this. A person, let's say a guy at the age of 18, 19, 20, he's looking at a girl, he found a nice 70-year-old girl, 80-year-old girl, doesn't matter. Blaine Hara, from the house, from the home, good parents, good family, working, school, Bas Yisrael, Shavach, whatever it might be. He says, no, I want better. Okay, now he get 20, now he's 21, now he's 25, now he's 27. Now he says, I want this kind of girl, this kind of girl. So we come to him and we tell him, listen, my brother, you can't be so picky at this age. You're already going 30. By this time, people will have 5, 6 kids. He's like, what do you mean? But this is what I want. Yeah, but you've been wanting something very much, but you see, you're not getting it. So what do we tell him? We tell him to settle for the next best thing. Initially, had he gotten married, he was going to be able to get married to the girl the way he wanted, mamish. It's just he thought he was going to get better, whatever the situation was. And now he waited and waited and waited and waited. Now he has to settle for something less than the previous girl. Right? It's called settling for less. Same thing in Avodat Hashem. It's exactly the same thing. You have the opportunity to do the mitzvah the best possible way. You don't want to do the best possible way. You're going to do it the next best way. So that means you're settling with the mitzvot. When you're settling for mitzvot, you are settling, basically, you're compromising your olam haba and the zechar, the reward that you're going to be able to get in the next world. So if you were supposed to do a mitzvah with kavanah and everything, where you're going to be able to have a angel that was complete, let's just say for argument's sake, let's just say you would get one world of reward in the next world because you did it with kavanah. You didn't do it with kavanah. Okay, big deal, Rabbi. But I did the mitzvah, correct? Yeah, you did the mitzvah. But now, since you settle for the next best thing, where you didn't do it with kavanah, what ends up happening? Instead of getting a whole world, we're going to give you one block as a reward. Are you going to be happy with that? No, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be upset. Oh, but Rabbi, I did the mitzvah, but I got something. Understand one thing, Rabotai. Losing out reward from the next world, compromising, olam haba, compromising when it comes to mitzvot, the loss, the hit that you're going to take when you're going to come after 120, you're going to see what you could have gained and what you're really gaining, you're going to think somebody robbed you completely. A person, he makes money, he puts money into a safe, or bank account, whatever, Bitcoin, or whatever the situation might be. You see money's going up, bum, 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 bum. You see there's $1 billion in your bank account. One day you come to withdraw, you could only withdraw 100,000. That's what you could, what do you mean? Had $1 billion, what do you mean 100? Everything else is lost. I don't know what to tell you. Done, gone, finished. Same thing with our mitzvot. When a person thinks he's doing mitzvot, so he's in the $1 billion, he's in the next world, he's in the Forbes $1 billion mitzvot club. He comes to the next world, they say, okay, here's your reward for 100,000, that the mitzvah that you did. What? Well, I did mitzvot, I did everything you said, Hashem. Correct, you did everything he said. The question is, how did you do it? That's the question. Did you do it the way Hashem wanted you to do it? Or did you do it the way you felt you wanted to do it? You were just basically getting by. Let's put it to you like that. In school, right? When a person goes to school, high school, junior high school, college, doesn't matter. Are you just getting by to get over with it? Or you really aiming for that high GPA, high grade, and so on and so forth? Okay. So I want to read for you the halakha. You'll see, Rabotai, what the halakha says. And I told you like before, Other opinions are going to tell you, as I'll read it for you now, you have what to fall back on, but understand you are compromising your mitzvot, you compromise on mitzvot, you compromise on your olam haba, you compromise on olam haba, you're compromising on the schar, the reward that you could have gotten for eternity. Okay. Shulchan Aruch Siman Samech Halacha Daled. Shulchan Aruch says, that's chapter 60, that's law number 4. Yesh omrim, there are those that say, she'en mitzvot tzrichot kavanah. Mitzvot do not require you to have kavanah. They don't require you to have thought, intention. What does that mean? We'll have to see. You know, they say, the rabbi says, you have to have kavanah, you have to have kavanah. Kavanah on what, Rabotai? Tell me. Kavanah on what? What kind of kavanah? This is what we want to see. After you see this, Rabotai, you're going to understand what does it mean? Malachim mamash. You just have to ask yourself sometimes that question. Am I really serving Hashem the way He wants me to serve Him? Am I really having angels that are real, actual angels? Or all my angels, at least 90% of them are blemished. One without a head, one without a hand, one without an eye. Rabotai, I've seen people, this world for them means everything. But I've also seen people that the next world for them means everything. They're living in this world. They're enjoying this world. But in their mind, they're constantly thinking about the next world. How much more they can do, how much more can they learn, what more can they do in Avodah Hashem in order to be able to get more Olam Haba. Yeah, they're in this world. But while they're in this world, they are doing things to be able to prepare for the next world. So this is the first opinion. Yesh omrim she'en mitzvot tzrichot kavanah. There are those that want to say that mitzvot do not require you to have kavanah. V'yesh omrim she'tzrichot kavanah. And there are those that want to say, there's the rabbis that want to say, mitzvot require kavanah. Rabotai, the next few words, when I read it, we have a very big problem. According to the Shulchan Aruch, there are those that say that you need to have kavanah in order to fulfill your obligation in doing that mitzvah that you're doing. So you have a machloket over here between yesh v'yesh. We know the rule is yesh omrim v'yesh omrim. The halach is like yesh omrim batra. We go like the second yesh omrim, meaning like the ones that say mitzvah require you to have kavanah in order to fulfill your obligation in doing that mitzvah. Comes the Shulchan Aruch. You know, by the way, this is the rule. Yesh omrim, yesh v'yesh, halacha ki yesh batra. But comes the Shulchan Aruch himself and he says something fascinating. And he says, v'chein halacha. And so too that this is the halacha. The halacha is going to go in the opinion with the second yesh omrim that mitzvot require kavanah. Now I want to put it to you like this, Rabotai. When it comes to mitzvot requiring kavanah, that means according to the Shulchan Aruch, I'm talking about the letter of the law right now. If you did not have kavanah before you start performing the mitzvah, according to the Shulchan Aruch, you're not yotzeh. One more time. I put it to you like this, Rabotai. Let's be more practical. A person has to go ahead and shake the lulav. The mitzvah is, I'm not going to tell you now, but let's say a person, I'm just going to use the word kavanah. You don't really understand what kavanah really means until I read it for you inside the Mishnah Berurah. But I'm going to just say kavanah like you guys have been always learning. No, you have to have kavanah. What's kavanah? Which kavanah? Where am I having kavanah? You have to think. Think on what, Rabotai? I told you before, there's 2 kavanot for any given mitzvah. But I'm going to tell you like this. Let me just tell you outside. A person went on Sukkot time, he took the lulav etrog, he said the bracha, bam bam, he shook the lulav. Did he fulfill the mitzvah? He didn't have kavanah. I'm just going to use like that. He didn't have kavanah. He just took it and he shook it with the bracha. Did he do the mitzvah? According to the Shulchan Aruch, he did not do the mitzvah. A person, he put on tefillin without having kavanah. Did he do the mitzvah according to the Shulchan Aruch? Absolutely not. He did not fulfill the mitzvah. According to the yesh omrim that say you don't have to have kavanah, do they fulfill the mitzvah? Whether the case of the lulav or the tefillin, 100% you fulfill the mitzvah, 100%. Comes the Mishnah Berurah, the Mishnah makes this difference the Mishabur, the Achronim, they want to come and they want to say like this, that when you're dealing with action, when you're dealing with mitzvot that require action, even if you don't have kavanah, you are yotzeh. Right? We're going to give it to you. But you have to understand, Rabotai, not according to the Shulchan Aruch. Yes, post facto, if it happened, we'll give it to you. But initially, we want you to have kavanah. Just, I want you guys to understand what are we dealing with here. A person puts on tefillin not having the proper kavanah, we have a very big problem. You're not yotzeh according to Shulchan Aruch. According to the other achronim, you are going to be yotzeh. Be the Evid, Rabotai, halachically we'll give it to you. But like I told you before, you are settling for less. You are compromising on your mitzvot. That's going to take effect on your olam haba, and the reward that you were supposed to get for eternity, you're going to lose out on. Now, let's see in Od Zayin, in the Mishnah Berurah, in Sivkat and Zayin, the Mishnah Berurah says like this. You should know from what's explained from the poskim. Shnei kavanot yesh mitzvah. There are two kavanot that you can have for a mitzvah. Meaning, what does kavanah mean? Intention. What does it mean? A person has to think of what he's about to do. Number one, he says, kavanat alev mitzvah atzma. He says you have to have the kavanah of the heart to the mitzvah itself. Rabotai, I want to read for you over here. Over here is a little bit more open. This is Mishnah Berurah Ozve Hadar Hamuvor. Over here he says like this. I want to just share with you over here. What does that mean? Kavanah. Kavanat alav mitzvah. What does that mean? You have to have the intention of the heart for the mitzvah itself. So let me see something. Here. Okay. I'll put it to you like this. Let me read it from over here. It's like this. שצריך האדם לעשות את כל המצווה בכוונת הלב לשם שמיים. A person needs to do every mitzvah with the intention of the heart for the sake of heaven. Rabotai, I want to ask you guys a simple question. What does it mean, kavanat halev? If you tell me kavanat of the moach, kavanat hadat, kavanat haseichel, a person has to have intention in the mind. Why do you have to tell me kavanat halev? The intentions of the heart. What does that mean, intention of the heart? Can a person have intentions with the heart? I mean, when I think something, it's through my mind. Now you're going to tell me to deliver, it goes to the heart, then it goes to your mind. I understand. But the bottom line is, it's in my mind. I make the decision in the end, it's my mind is making the decision, not my heart. Rabotai, so we have a very big problem now. When the fact that the Torah, the fact that Chazal use Kavanat Alev, it's a humongous problem. Kavanat Alev means you have to be emotionally involved with the mitzvah. Not only intellectually, not only you know that you have to do the mitzvah, that's intellectual. You put on tefillin because that's what Hashem said to do. Just intellectual. You're just doing it because Hashem. That's being intellectual. But are you really emotionally there? Are you really feeling that you put on tefillin? When you say a bracha, do you really feel that you're blessing Hashem? When you daven l'Shem, do you really feel that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there? I'm going to give you guys an example. You know where we have kavanat halev? When we do averos. When a person sins, he has kavanat halev. Why? Because just take, for example, a person's walking down the block, or whatever, he's going somewhere, and he sees a beautiful girl pass by. Everything inside of him starts stirring up. Everything starts burning up. He starts having all these thoughts about her. Wow, this, that. That's kavanat halev, Rabotai. That's kavanat halev. That is intentions with the heart. You're not even thinking now. You're just over here. Your heart is, you don't know what to do with yourself. That's kavanat halev, Rabotai. Or when people go to places they're not supposed to be, or they do things they're not supposed to do, over there we have kavanat halev. But when it comes to Hashem's Torah and mitzvot, we have kavanah, but we don't have the lev, Rabotai. We have the intellectual part of knowing that we have to do the mitzvah. We go do it because everybody might be doing it. But are we really living it? Are we really excited that I'm davening to you, Hashem, but then there's nothing greater than to be with you, Hashem? It is so sad. It is so sad how blind we are not to see the emet. We're so blinded by everything that goes on in this world. I don't know if I should speak about it or not. It's very sad. For me, it's very sad for me because I knew the person and it's actually one of my neighbors. It was my neighbors from Briarwood. It was his brother. But he's not even a neighbor because he's like mamish family to me. And when we found out about it on Motzei Shabbat, we were in a state of shock. Maybe you guys know what happened. I believe his brother's name is Avraham Fuzalyov. The guy I'm speaking about is Edik Fuzalyov. He's a we're very close. We're like mamish family like this. And on Motzei Shabbat we find out, my uncle calls my father, tells my father that I think Adi's brother, meaning Edik Fuzalyov's brother, passed away. So what do you mean passed away? We know that his father's not doing well. What do you mean he passed away? It doesn't make sense. So they shoot a text to my mom. She opens up, I think it was on the Facebook. She opens up Facebook. And I'm like, can I see that for a second? I can't read Russian. So I said, yeah, this is his brother, but maybe it's his birthday or something. So then we ended up calling Angela, Eddie's wife. And he said, yes, he passed away. And you know, it's very hard. It's very sad. So sudden, you know, may this lecture that we do also now, B'ezrat Hashem B'li Neder, may it be Le'ilu Nishmat for him. They went to Israel yesterday. But Rabotai, he just turned 60. He just turned 60. Like, out of nowhere. You ask yourself, like, is a person given time, not given time, 6 years old, and they say he had a heart attack. Right? First it was in the house, and then they took him to the hospital, and then the doctors, I don't know what happened, they neglected. I don't know exactly the whole story. But it's so sad that a person leaves this world at such a young age. That's where a person starts to begin to live. And not only him, we also had Reuven Pinchasov, also one of my neighbors. You know, people think, again, I use them as an example, so it should be Le'ilu Nishmat for them. You know, did they think, Rabotai? Did they know? It happens so sudden, happens so quickly. You know, a person's running after money, a person's running after a house, a person's running after this, after that. He's trying to do this, he's trying to do that. But in reality, Rabotai, all we need is Hashem. All we need is Hashem and His mitzvot and the Torah. What do you think is going to help us? Rabotai, we stood there helpless. How do you help a woman that just lost her husband? How do you help his children, Rabotai? How do you help the family members? We went over to the house, we showed them the support. But how do you help such people? Who can comfort them? You know, nobody expected it. Nobody anticipated nothing. That's how we have to ask ourselves, do you really think you're going to live to 70, 80, 90, 100? Who said, Rabotai? The Gemara says a person has to do teshuva every single day. Why does he have to do teshuva every single day? Because he doesn't know that which day he's going to die. It could be any day, chas v'shalom. You might not like to hear what I'm saying, but that's the truth. Why should it be late? Well, you know, why should you find out later? May HaKadosh Baruch Hu give the family, He console them, may they never see any more grievances, may they only see nachat, may they see only b'sorot tovot b'ezrat Hashem. Yes, it's hard when you know people, it's hard. It is home more, chas v'shalom, when you know who the people are. I was driving with my wife to Brooklyn. It was me and her only, and we're speaking about Avraham Fuzalyov, how sad it is, people just 1 second here, 1 second not here. My wife started telling me, do you know how many people die per day, chas v'shalom? No, I don't know, chas, I don't know. I don't sit there and look up the stats. We said there are many hundreds of people die every single day. If that's the case, why are we wasting our time? Why aren't we taking mitzvot seriously? Why aren't we taking Torah seriously? Why aren't we taking our davening seriously? Why are we continuing with our garbage ways? Why? Why are we doing things that we don't have to do? Why are we in places where we don't have to be? Do you think somebody's going to be able to help you? Yesterday they took the niftar, they took the deceased, they took them to Israel. They were only able to get maximum 3 tickets to get to Israel because it was last second. Not everybody can come. Even there, they have to leave the body. Nobody's going to be with you. Nobody's going to be able to help you. It's your mitzvot, the Torah that you learn, the avodah Hashem that you did in this world. You were always with Hashem here. Hashem is going to be with you there now. What? Rabotai, where? Where did the neshama go? Where? The body is here. It's moving as well, but where did it go the next? Where did it go? Understand, Rabotai, that we are a neshama. And our job in this world is to try to go ahead and make malachim mamash. Actual malachim, actual angels. I'm telling you, Rabotai, don't allow other people to rob you of your olam haba. This is exactly what's happening. Listen, I'll tell you something. If you see that it's affecting your avodah Hashem, your learning Torah, your shmirat enayim, your mitzvot, the way you have to speak, the way who you hang, cut them off from your life. Cut them off, high and by. I'm not telling you to become enemies with them, but why do you have to associate with people that hold you back from serving Hashem? I don't understand. You have a goal in life. That's where you want to get to. If these people have a goal in life, they want to go down, they want to go to 7 levels, I don't know where they want to go. Let them go. They don't want to listen to you. They don't want to come back close to Hashem. What can you do? But you can't get lost because of them. Chayecha koidim, your life comes first. B'ezrat Hashem, Rabotai, may the learning of the Torah that we do now, may the shiur that we've been doing, may be Mamash Lil Nishmat, Avraham, Fuzalyov, I don't know the parents' name, I don't know the mother's name. We are very, very sorry for the loss, for the family that they had to take this hit. May Hashem send them consolement. All right. So we see over here in the Mishnah Berurah, he says, "Shutzarich adam lasot kol mitzvot b'kanot alav l'shem shamayim." A person has to go ahead and he has to do every single mitzvah with the intention of the heart. You have to be emotionally there, but you have to be emotionally with the mitzvah. Not only emotionally, you have to be involved in the mitzvah, but you have to do it l'shem shamayim. You want to do it for Hashem. You Hashem, it's only you. Nothing else in the world matters. Only you Hashem. Well, the film will be poskim according to what's explained from the poskim. Yesh shnei sugei kavanot lemitzvah. There are 2 types of intentions one can have for a mitzvah. First one is shebe'ed kiyum ha-mitzvah yachshov bedato v'yichaven belibo lema shehu oseh velo bedvarim achirim. First kavanah a person has to have is at the time when you're doing the mitzvah, you should think in your mind and have intention in your heart, meaning when you're doing the mitzvah, you want to be intellectually and you want to be emotionally involved in what you are doing. And you should not be thinking about other things. Kigoni says, when your person is blessing a blessing, think about the intention of the bracha. Think what you're blessing on, who you're blessing to, and its meaning. When a person is doing a mitzvah, you want to be intellectually and emotionally involved in that mitzvah. You want to be fully invested in that mitzvah and in nothing else. That's the first kavanah you want to have. That's the first kavanah. Second kavanah, שיכוון שעושה את המצווה כי כן ציווה השם. Second kavanah, he says, you should have kavanah that this mitzvah that you are doing is because you, Hashem, have commanded me to do this mitzvah. Rabotai, these are two basic kavanot that each and every one of us must have. Now the Mishnah Berurah goes on to explain in depth each one, how it breaks down. I'm not going to go through this. If you want, ask your rabbi, ask the Talmud Chacham, or go and take an English Mishnah Berurah. You'll see it in Simon Samach, Siv Dalet, that's chapter 60, halacha number 4, in Siv Katan 7, that's Zayin. See what the Mishnah Berurah explains. He goes in length in explaining, but I wanted to bring out these 2 points. That when we're doing mitzvot, are we doing mitzvot just to do it, just to get by it? Or are we emotionally and intellectually involved? So number one, the first kavanah you have to have, this is the base for everything. When you're doing the mitzvah, you have to be fully invested. That it's you and that mitzvah, it's you and that word of Torah. It's you and Hashem when you're davening. It's you and your tefillin. It's you and your talit. It's you and your sukkah. It's you and every other mitzvah that you're doing. It's you and the mitzvah. There's nothing else, Rabotai. You, mitzvah, and Hashem. You three, Rabotai, always. You, Hashem, and the mitzvah. So you're fully invested in that mitzvah. That's kavanah number one. So kavanah number one is you have to be invested in the mitzvah, not only intellectually, but also emotion. Not knowing, I have to do something. Having to do something, everybody can be a robot. I sometimes think, in my humble opinion, I might be wrong. But I said to myself, they started coming out with these, with AI, artificial intelligence. Rabotai, why now? Why now? Why in this generation? Maybe, I don't know, why they started coming out in this generation with AI? Because maybe that's what we are. Maybe Hashem is showing us a sign. That's exactly what we are. Artificial intelligence, it has intelligence, but it has no heart. Maybe Hashem is showing us a sign. If I would have want people to serve me with intelligence alone, I could have created these things, AIs. I put AI robots and let them daven to me, 10 people, whatever, but they could daven better than us. They could learn Torah much better than us. They could remember everything. But where's the heart? They don't have that. They don't have the neshama. Maybe that's Peshat Rabotai. I don't know. Maybe. I'm just saying maybe. Artificial intelligence Hashem created because it's showing us. Because maybe we're serving Hashem like an artificial intelligence. Without actually being there fully invested. It's sad, Rabotai. It's sad. It hurts. So you see, when it comes to Averis, people do it from the bottom of their heart. When it comes to mitzvot, where's the heart? It's not there. It's here, but it's not here. And that's sad. That's very sad. Not only when it comes to doing Averis, you spend money. You spend money to do Averis. Comes to buy mezuzah, how much? $100. Oh man, why 100? Why not 85? Okay, 85. Why not 65? You go buy tefillin, 2,500. 2,500. I remember I used to buy for $600. Rabotai, go do Averis. Don't open my Rabotai. Go do other things which are not mitzvot. Bam, 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 bam. No questions asked. A mashgiach came up to me, Rabotai, listen to this. I don't understand how people do parties without having proper mashgichim. And mashgich came out to me. He said, "Listen to this." He says, "Rabbi, listen." He says, in the party, he says, as a mashgich, mashgich has a lot. And I'm not talking about mashgich. He looks nice, He walks outside on the table, make sure. Kana, kasherni, vodka kasherni. No, I'm not talking about this guy mashgich. I'm talking about mashgichim. You see, they're dirty because they're working in the back because that's where they have to be, right? So he tells me, he said, "Rabbi, 3 days I've been working. 3 days. Yeah, he gets paid, Baruch Hashem, 3 days I've been working in the kitchen, preparing, overseeing, sifting the flour, checking for the bugs. 3 days. Whatever, in the end, the guy came, they paid him. There was a guy that was doing oston, I think that's what they call it, right? Plov, in the oston, whatever, the big, I don't know what you call that, those things, plov that they give you. So in the end of the party, the owner of the party, he came to the guy who did the plov. He told him, listen, how you did today? $1,000 tip for you. The mashgiach said, it doesn't bother me, I got paid. He also got paid. But when he told him $1,000 tip for what? For making good plov. Did you think one time to give maybe the mashgiach $1,000 tip? Did you ever think to tip your rabbi maybe? Did you ever think to send money to your rabbi, to your son's rabbi's yeshiva? I'm paying tuition, and there for what? You don't give bonuses to your workers? Rabotai, me and my father used to own a shoe repair business. We had workers. The holidays came, my father, I didn't see to it, but my father would go ahead and see to it that every single worker got a bonus. Money, presents, and so on and so forth. Tell me why we're worse than them. For these things you give money, for Torah, spirituality, you don't give money. It's a very big problem, Rabotai. Very big problem. What our eyes sees, we understand. What our eyes don't see, we don't understand. We don't understand that the work that the rabbis, they put in our children, the yeshivas, the amount of effort, the amount of exertion that they sit there and they have to put up with every single child. This one, every single child. B'lein hara, Rabotai, if you have children in the house, you could understand what I'm telling you. Each child has his own attitude. It's not 5, 6, 7, 8 children that have in the class. 20, 30, some of them have 40 kids. Imagine dealing with each one. And then you have the audacity to come to the parent-teacher conference and tell the teacher how they're wrong or how they spoke bad about your child. If your child doesn't know how to behave. Rabotai, this is nuts. Instead of saying, thank you, you're trying your best. Here's a tip, Rabbi. It's not even about the money, it's about showing appreciation. Say, hey, thank you, Rabotai. When was the last time you told the rabbi, thank you, Rabbi, for giving your heart and soul? Thank you for teaching us Torah. When was the last time you said it? When, Rabotai? Rabbi, 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 chvat, saditis, we chvatit. Мы маза платили нормально, садитесь, Rabbi John, садитесь. I was one time like this in the Yeshua. Lucky for that person that my father was holding me back. The rabbi was speaking. And then he told, okay, Rabbi, садись, мы поспорили, садитесь. Мы тебе платим, садись. The rabbi sat down. You're not allowed to sit down. You got to get up and you got to make a tumult there. It's Kavod Torah. What do you mean, saditis? Take it to your house and shove it up, where? And flush it down the toilet after you make. Who does this? Is Rabotai. How do we treat our Talmidei Chachamim today? It's not normal. But this is what's going on, Rabotai. This is what's going on. And it's sad, Rabotai. It's sad. For plov, you give $1,000 tip. For your child's education, did you ever think about giving $100 tip to your Rebbe? Did you ever think about buying something for them? The schools I have on my phone, I have the chat. Anybody wants to please donate for the... my children go to different schools, whatever it is, they have... Right, anybody... Yeah, of course, donate. But how many times can they ask the same question? Rabotai, give them, help them out. Help them out. What's going to be, Rabotai? $20, you won't die for $20. In any event, let's get back over here. We see over here that we have to be intellectually and emotionally involved in the mitzvah. That's kavanah number 1. That's the first thought that you have to have before you do any mitzvah. You want to bless something, you want to say brach on the shakol, you want to understand, stop, what am I blessing on? Water. Who am I blessing to? Hashem. What do the words mean? Blessed are you, Hashem, the King of the universe, that you created everything with your words. Understand this. Then go ahead and say the bracha. And now when you say Baruch, Ata, Hashem, also when you say Hashem, you have to think Adon HaKol, Haya, however here, Hashem, you're the master of all, was, is, will be, Elokeinu, that Shuhut Akiv Bala, Yochelet Ubala Kachot Kulam, that he's the overall encompassing strong God. You gotta have these kavanot. Melech, King, Ha'olam of the world. Shahakol Niyeh word, that you create everything with your word. Then go ahead and drink your tea, your water, whatever you want to drink. But not like we do it. When you say the bracha intellectually, that's intellectually. But emotionally, get involved, get connected, connect yourself. Like you would when it comes to doing an Avera Chas v'Shalom. Use that and channel it over here. That's Kavanah number one. Kavanah number two, he says, you have to think that Hashem is the one who commanded you to do mitzvah. Right? Shechaver shoshet ha-mitzvah ki ken ha-tziva Hashem. You have to have kavanah, think in your mind, that this is why I'm doing the mitzvah, because you, Hashem, have commanded me to do the mitzvah. Before you understand that there's somebody on top of you. So now when you know that Hashem, you commanded me to learn Torah, so when I learn Torah, I'm not going to be on my phone. So when I daven, I'm not going to be in Miami. So when I daven, I'm not going to be thinking about other garbages. I'm going to be with you, Hashem, because you, Hashem, commanded me to daven 3 times a day. Rabotai, I'll make it very simple for you. You say that in the brachot anyway. You say, Baruch Ata Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, Asher Kiddishanu, that you, Hashem, which have sanctified me, b'mitzvotav, in your commandments, in your mitzvot, v'tzivanu, and you have commanded me, al nitzilat ulav, al divrei Torah, whatever the bracha is going to be. But you clearly say, Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu. You're saying it already. Think about it. Just slow down, Rabbi Isai. What is the rush? What is the rush? Rabotai, he also brings down over here, it says in Masechet Nedarim, Daf Samach Bet Amud Bet, Rabbi Elazar bar Tzadok, Rabbi Elazar the son of Tzadok says, Oseh Devarim l'shem po'olam, v'daber behem l'shemam. Whenever you do something, whenever it comes to doing mitzvah, whenever you're doing anything, you want to do l'shem HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You want to do it for the sake of Hashem, because you, Hashem, said to do it. And when it says to speak, when you learn Torah, you're doing it also because you, Hashem, said to learn Torah. You have to understand, Rabotai, it's as simple as this. If you ask me right now, Rabbi, why don't you want to look at an Imada's girl? Why don't you want to go do Averis? I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to. No, I want to. I want. That's what the Rambam says. You have to say, I want to. I want to eat not kosher. I want to go chas v'shalom place where I'm not supposed to. I want to. So why don't you do it, Rabbi? Because Hashem doesn't allow me. Hashem says not to do it. This is how you have to live, Rabbi. I'm strong. I'm not doing it because you, Hashem, said not to do it. That's Yirat Shamayim, Rabotai. That's Yirat Shamayim Torah. That's pure fear of heaven. When you're doing it because you, Hashem, said so. Is it so hard? Is it really that hard? Hashem, you commanded me not to look at women. Lo taturu acharei levavchem ve'acharei nechem. From the Torah. Rabotai, we sing it every single day. And we lie. You say it and you continue doing it. Because it's here. It's not here. You got to bring the words inside. All levavech, they have to be on your heart. It has to be on your heart, Rabotai. If it's not on your heart, it's not going to help you. I want to conclude with this. I want to go back to the Chumash for a second. I want to share with you. So now that we understand how to make Malachim Mamash, how to make actual angels, that you have to have kavanah. It's very simple. You have to be intellectually and emotionally involved. When you're doing the mitzvah, you have to be invested, you have to be in tune in the mitzvah, and plus you have to know that when you're doing the mitzvah, it's you, Hashem, that has commanded me in the doing of the mitzvah. It doesn't matter what next. Right now, I'm learning because you, Hashem, said to learn Torah. That's it, finish. I want, I like, I'm not ready. What's all this? Who asked you? Do what Hashem says, you'll see in the end you'll be happy. You know how many times, Rabotai, do you know how many times, I've seen people, when they tell children what to do and the children don't listen, how they veer off the way of the Torah to Hashem, and then later on they realize. But I've seen parents also that tell their children many times over, do this, explaining to them and so on, so they work with them. And when the children grew up, you know what the parents said to them? Look back. You remember a friend that you had with you? Yes. Where's your friend now? Not in a good place. Where are you now? Why is it like that? Because it's Abba and Ima that helped you. When you look back and you see and you compare and contrast with somebody else that was your friend, your partner, your chavruta, whatever you had when you were younger, and since you listened, look where you are now and look where they are now. Same thing with you, Rabotai. Sometimes you don't understand. You don't have to understand everything. But if you can't trust Hashem, who are you going to trust? If Hashem says, go in my ways, pick the barachot. If Hashem says, what else do you want? Is there anything better guarantee? Go blindly with Hashem. You don't have to worry about nothing. In the end, you'll be like that child. When you grow, he says, wow, I'm just happy I listened to you, Hashem. Because I see all my other friends, how much they lost. And that day you will say, Hodu ladunai ki tov, ki leolam chasdo. That I listen to you, Hashem, and I don't listen to nobody else. Go back inside of reading Parsha Vayishlach. Since now that we know what means malachim mamash, actual malachim, how you have to do, because you have to do mitzvot intellectual and emotionally, like we explained the two kavanot that you have to have. That's how you are able to make real malachim, real angels. Malachim mamash. Now you have to ask yourself the next question. So why do you have to say in the Parsha lefanav, before him? If it wouldn't say before him, I would have known also before him. So Rabotai, like Chazal tell us, a person's righteousness goes before him. Same thing over here. Yaakov Avinu is teaching you. If I had to go ahead and I had to come down Esav to send him my actual angels, so I wouldn't have to have any problems with him, how much more so we, the Jewish people, wouldn't have enemies like where you have to go now and try to pacify, right? You know, somebody's going to come, no. Comes Yaakov Avinu and he's teaching us a very important point. You have to read it like this. Vayishlach, put yourself in the picture. Vayishlach you, malachim lefanav el Hashem. And you sent angels before yourself to Hashem. What kind of angels are you sending to Hashem? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Am I sending a malachim mamash like Yaakov Avinu did? Or am I sending angels that are blemished? And that's why you have to say lefanav. Because really, that's not just to send. It's you're sending before yourself to the day of judgment. That great day. That day, Rabotai, where everybody's going to be shocked. Where everybody's going to be scared and afraid. And nobody's going to be able to answer a word. All the excuses that we have here. Yeah, Rabbi, no, Rabbi, it's okay. Better than nothing. Rabotai, it's not going to be better than nothing. You'll wish that you would have never said those words when you were down here. It's because you have ta'avot, you have desires, you have lost, you want kavod, you want money. So you say better than nothing because you want to continue living an animalistic lifestyle. You don't want to live an angelic lifestyle. You want to live an animalistic lifestyle. You don't want to satiate your neshama. You want to satiate your body, which this body can't do anything for you. It's a tool, it's a means to get you to Olam Haba. But are you using that body? Are you using that body to get you to Olam Haba? It's like an astronaut. When he goes up space, he puts on the astronaut suit. He doesn't make it the whole thing. And when he comes down, he takes it off. Same thing with us. You have to understand that about time we see today two important points. We need to send Malachim Mamash, but not just to send Malachim Mamash, but it has to be before us to that day of judgment. Are we really sending Malachim Mamash before us to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And that's what you want to do. You want to try to sit and work on it. Make a cheshbon nefesh. Make an accounting of the soul. see how your downing is going, how your learning is going, how your barachot is going. Bezrat Hashem, Rabotai. May Kadosh Baruch Hu give us the zechut. May He give us the intellectual, the emotional knowledge to be able to, when we do His mitzvot, to be fully invested, fully tuned in, and knowing at the same time that you, Hashem, commanded me to do mitzvot, to learn Torah, to do chesed, and so on. Whatever you're doing, it's you, Hashem, that commanded me to do it. And with that, we're going to create angels, but not any angels. Bezrat Hashem, we should have the zechut to be able to create malachim mamash, actual real angels that are going to be complete in their form before Hashem. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen ve'amen.